Okay. So, hello, YouTube. We are here for another English immersion. My name is Camila. I'm going to be the host from this immersion. I am here with Luis and Yasmin. The topic from today will be why do you need friends with shared interests? And just a short explanation about the platform. For those who don't know what is Talk and Talk, or for the first time are watching a video on YouTube, Talk and Talk is a language conversation platform. And here you can find the conversations in English, Spanish, French, Italian, and Mandarin also. And just to clarify, guys, I'm not a teacher. I am a student as you. And we are here to learn from the practice for our mistakes. So do not, we are here's a safe place. We don't judge anyone and we are not teaching you anyone. We are just to practice your English that you learn in your structure or to change ideas and put in practice our conversation, okay? So we always start here in the platform with the presentation. So I would like to start with you, Yasmin. Could you please introduce yourself for us?
Sure, I'm Yasmin. I'm 19 years old. I live at São Paulo capital with my parents and my cat too. Nowadays, I work as a intern of software development. I'm cursing systems analysis and development on the college too. And I'm a free time. I like to read books, watch series, watch movies, play video games too. And for me, that's it.
Thank you, Yasmin. Are you 19?
19.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Oh my gosh, Yasmin, so young. It's good to see you here, Yasmin. And how about you, Luis? Could you please introduce yourself?
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Luis. I am from Campo Grande City. I am 44 years old. I am a freelancer data analyst. I like to help small business to understand their data. And in my spare time, I like to play piano. I like to watch movies, and I like to hang around with my wife. And this is this.
Thank you, Luis. So, guys, about me, I am Camila. I am 40. I live in São Paulo, the capital. I've been here on Talk and Talk since April from this year, and I became a host in July. I'm here to practice my English skills, to practice Spanish too, because I know a little bit. I studied when I was a kid, and I was studying French, but I give up because it's really hard to study three languages at the same time. So I decided to put my efforts only in English and a little bit about Spanish. Maybe last year I could start again. And let me see what else. In my free time, I love to be here at the platform to practice languages, to make good friends, to know new people, and of course to learn from them. So it's a place when every immersion I learn from a new structure, new words. So I love to be here. I love to read some books. And I am a huge fan of true crime. I love to talk about these things. Let me see what else. I think that's it. We can start. The topic from today, as I said before, it's why do you need friends with shared interests? So, Luis, do you want to read the question number 2 and answer?
Okay, question number two. What are your initial thoughts on the idea that having friends with shared interests can improve happiness and productivity? Well, I think that friends, when we choose our friends, we must have in our minds that friendship is love, love the same things and hate the same things, something like
Great.
that, you know, because when you just have some friends just for small talks or just for pass the time without any true feelings, your life probably will become more empty, you know, something like that. So when you have your true friends, your special friends, life become more colorful, I think.
Great. I
Mhm.
love it. I get it. And how, thank you, Luis. And how about you, Yasmin?
I agree with Luis. I think it's very important to have friends that share the same interests than you, because you can develop a better relationship if maybe you have different feelings about a lot of things. I think maybe we will avoid a little about the relationship, because it's okay have a few different feelings or different interests, but when all of the things is different, it is kind of hard, because you not have subject to talk, because sometimes you are different in everything, 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 everything. And when we have these all of different interests, um, avoid a little, because sometimes you want to talk about something that you want to share about your interests, and the other person didn't care or didn't like about it. So it's something that maybe is something I forgot how is this discomfortable. Maybe
No.
is something little discomfortable. So, and when you have people that like the same things that you, I think these bring a lot of happiness, because sometimes you learn new things about the things that you like it. You can be more productive on that, because sometimes you like an subject and the other person too. So there are different shares. For example, if I like it some topic to study and the other person like this topic to study too, I can bring experience, some knowledge, and the other person can bring other experience, other knowledge, and build a large, maybe a large meaning of the thing. So I think these help with productivity too.
Yeah, I agree. I think we need people with the same shareds sometimes, right? The same interest, not same shareds, but the same interest. Because, for example, as I said, I love true crime, and when I have a friend or my sister loves too, we are always talking about some specific books or things that happen, and I feel so excited, and I can, I don't know someone with the same interest than me, and I feel like, oh, this is so good to talk about this. And I think we are looking for the same subject sometimes in the school, in the job. You look for the same, the not the same, but a person most like you, because it's easier to deal with that, right? You don't need to fight, or you don't need to think too much about other subjects to be in a conversation with the others. So it's easier to deal with that. You just are being yourself. You don't need to try to be other person to talk with a stranger, for example. And for me, it's awesome when we can find this kind of connection with other person, because you can talk, so you're about your excitement about the things, right? It's good when we have this kind of connection, at least for me. Yasmin, let's move on to the question number 3. Do you want to read and answer, please?
Sure. Have you ever noticed a change in your mood or stress levels when you engage with friends who share your interests? Um, for me, of course, I think when we talk about good things and things that we like, we forgot of the problems for a while. So we start to be so engaged with the subject that we forgot every the rest of the world. So I think this really help with the mood, because sometimes you are feeling stressed or a little bad, but when someone that you like it come to you, starts to think about things that engage you, you forgot the problem. So for me, I already noticed that.
Excellent. I get it. I think it's totally, we are in a different way. for sure. At least myself, I feel like, oh, I'm so excited to talk with someone about specific topic, like, and I we can spend hours talking about the same subject without any worries. So I think it's totally. I can feel my mood levels changing, right? Thank you, Yasmin. And how about you, Luis?
Well, I totally agree with you, girls. And I was thinking here because sometimes when I am in my work, for example, sometimes I think I am acting. I'm not be myself, you
Ah,
know. And when I am with my friends, I can totally be myself and be honest with me and talk with because sometimes I need to think twice to answer questions, for example, or so you must be so no, we need to be polite in our jobs, of course, but sometimes you enter in something like action every time, you know, that corporate politeness, something like that. And when I saw my friends, for example, to drink a beer in the end of the work, it's totally cool because we can talk about video games, movies, and this kind of things.
yeah, 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 agree. When sometimes when I need to go for a happy hour after work,
Yes.
and then every time someone say, "Oh, you're so different here, out of the environment, corporative environment," and I say, "Yes, because we need to do it like that. We need to be like that, right? I cannot be like drinking a beer in the corporative environment. So I think we need to change our way, just not to be acceptable, because the place needed this kind of mood, right? And I think it's totally necessary. I don't it's like acting. I agree with you. You are playing to
Yeah.
be a different person, yes. But I think it's just because we are in corporative environment, and sometimes we need to speak in a specific loud or less, I guess, voice. You need, of course, to be polite in everywhere, but in the corporative ways different. Even when we are angry, you need to feel like, oh, that's okay, I'm gonna do that for you, of course, do not worry. I can work until 10 p.m. That's okay.
Yes.
Yes, it's
I
normal,
don't
I
need
guess.
to sleep. I don't need to sleep. You can contact
Yeah.
me every hour. I
Yeah,
love this.
I don't like my family. I prefer to be here, of course. I totally agree. When I at the office, I need to control myself sometimes, my faces, my expressions, because sometimes you are like, oh god, that's okay, that someone boring wants to talk with you, and you are okay, let's talk. So I agree, it's totally faking or acting. I totally agree with that. It is normal. I think this is the we need to play the game, right? The
Yes, yes, yes. Unfortunately, but we don't. It's our life, and we must go through this. You know, it's a everyday challenge.
yeah.
So that's okay, and move on.
Yeah, I agree with you. Let me see, guys. I'm gonna read the question number 4, okay? Why do you think having friends with shared interests might have the ability to reduce anxiety and stress? What do you think, Luis?
Well, I think when you have a true friendship with your folks, for example, like the weekends. In the weekends, you want to do something that you loved. For example, I love to play piano, for example.
Oh,
So
really?
it's yes, então it's a pleasure for me having my friends in my house and talking about music and listen music, and you forgot about the bored ordinary days, you know. And it's a great. I like to have this quality time With my friend, my wife is my best friends, is my best friend because we know each other since we had 12 years old, I think.
Oh
And
my gosh.
yes, and so all that fake day that we have in our day job go away, you know, I think.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, that's good to know about your wife. Congratulations. It's hard to
Yeah,
find this. Oh, that's good.
yes, very, very.
I think it's the person who must know you, right? The person who know you for real, the essential things about yourself, I guess.
Yes, like a friend and like a husband, you know. So we grew up together, and then we know each other. So it's very.
Oh, congrats, Liz. It's good to know about that. Congrats. And how about you, Yasmin?
Um, I think this really help with anxiety and stress because, like I said before, sometimes we need to focus on other things because sometimes we are so tired of the job, of the college, or so stressed of with other things. And the only thing that we need is to focus in other kind of things, in things that we like it. So most part of the time, when you are stressed, sad, in a bad mood, you cannot focus on other. But when a person that you like it, a friend of you, became to you and starts a conversation about a topic that you like it, uh, this brings you to a good thing for you. So you started to focus. Another thing is starts to reduce the levels of anxiety, stress too. So I think this really help.
Yeah, I think when you are in a group that you know for real or you feel comfortable, you don't need to struggle to think about what do you need to say before.
Yeah,
So
I
some
think
oh, I hate this. Go ahead,
I
Yasmin.
I agree with you. I think when we are around people that we need to be polite, so like people of work or people that we didn't know for real, we all of time need to think, oh my God, if I be true of my feelings or with my what I think these people will accept me. So the anxiety starts to come because when you are with people that know you for real, you know people like you the same way that you are. So you didn't have to worry about what you have to say, what you don't have to say, what people will accept, what people will don't accept. So the anxiety with people that are strange is really high.
Yeah, I totally agree. Sometimes when I will go to the office and I feel like that silence, in the room, a huge silence, and I was thinking maybe once or twice if I need to say a joke or what I can say to broke this silence, to broke this ice, right? I am always thinking, oh, do you like, I don't know, do you like McDonald's? A simple question, like just to talk with someone, like, are you a human being? Just say something. But I know sometimes the corporate environment, it's a quiet place and I am always trying to be, I don't know, talk with someone. Maybe you don't need to talk about specific topics like football or politics or religion, but I am always trying. Do you have kids? Do you like, I don't know, sunny days, bad days, like the same conversation at the lift, when you are talking about the weather, about everything, just you like coffee, let's go to a coffee. And this is a embarrassing situation sometimes. And this makes me feel a little bit anxiety. I feel excited about this necessity to say something when I don't know someone. And this is not necessary, but I think this could help. Go ahead, Yasmin.
I think is the mix of anxiety to find something to say
Yeah.
and anxiety to afraid of being wrong. For example, if you start a conversation about some controversial think like politic, people will have the different perspectives, so you can make the environment so bad, you know. So it's a mix of what I have to say, and if I say this, I will cause some bad situation. So I think um, is really struggling. I don't know. It's something strange.
Yeah, I remember when I was at the office when I started in this company, and my boss just asked to me about some things about the election, and I was like, "Oh, okay, let's talk about that." But it was a surprise for me because he doesn't know anything about my life, and he starts talking about election. I was like, "Oh, okay, let's start with that." But I know this is not the best way to start a conversation, right? Because you can not have a great or fight with someone or just agree with, "Oh, yeah, you're right," just because you don't want to feel in a embarrassing situation. But this happens to me a lot, and I always want to be that person who try to create a great environment, to be like a great place to work together, because we are spending more than 80 hours together, and I am always trying to find a, I don't know, a middle point to talk about it in the during the day. But I know this is so hard. Sometimes I feel like, oh my gosh, that's okay. Let's be quiet here. That's okay. I don't need to think about that. Do you want to say something, Luis? Or we can go for another question? Go ahead.
Yes, I was remember here because I think I am gifted that I can I have the gift that I can say the wrong words in the wrong situations, you know. Sometimes I start a lot of discussions about bad jokes, you know. So unfortunately, I have this gift, you know.
Yeah, okay. Or sometimes you are like, if I say something, they are judging me a silly person. Like, this joke is not so good. And go ahead, go ahead.
Yes, and yes, and sometimes I am I don't know a lot of good jokes, but I sometimes I always said the wrong words for a meeting, for example, you know.
Really?
Yeah, sometimes even when I was in public service, so
Mm,
sometimes you need to mu- uh, be much neutral about politics. And I
yeah.
am a old guy, you know. I am 44 years old, and I don't care about some about the opinion of the people. I am from a small city, you know, and we are very conservative here. So
Mm.
in politics, you can't be much conservative, you know.
Yeah, and I think nowadays it's really hard to talk about these specific topics, right? In a
Very.
very difficult. When you are when you start in a company, you cannot talk about that because maybe you can find yourself in a difficult situation, and at the beginning, just embarrassing sometimes. And go
Yeah,
ahead, please.
yeah, but I was thinking here in my with my friends, for example, we have all the politics
Hmm.
uh, mind thinking
Sides, maybe.
sides. Yes, 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 yes. Thank you. And it's okay because we're friends and we can discuss with a uh, very polite discuss, you know.
Mhm.
But because we're friends, so but with work people, it's a totally mess. It's a crazy, to be more exact.
Yes, I remember last year we have an election here in Brazil. Was last year, I guess. Yes. And I think
I
yes, right?
think 2 years ago.
2 years ago. Oh my gosh. And I start in the company after the election, and everyone was like, "Oh, was like that," and a specific side won the election. And when I come back, when I arrive at the office, the boss said to me, "Oh, your side?" Just said your first day, you need to say, because here we have a specific side. It was like, oh my gosh, this is so embarrassing. And I remember I spend all my day quiet because they are struggling, fighting, talking about this, that correct, that is wrong, what's gonna be, Brazil is gonna, I don't know, feel worse. And I was like, my gosh, I don't think this is the best way to start a conversation.
I think it's the kind of situation that you just try to, I don't know, pass the image of a fool and laugh and be quiet,
Yeah,
because it's
just okay.
something. Mhm.
That's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because if you say something, you can be or right in their perspectives or wrong in their perspectives, and you can even get fired because of that. So,
Yeah. Remember my first day at the company, I was like, if I say something wrong about this side, this could be the end for me, right?
In my work was very funny because was 50-50. So
Okay. Oh my
was
gosh.
everyone worked together and it was totally 50-50. The people had a lot of public service,
Hmm.
everybody had a lot of time to chat and discuss politics and drink coffee, these kind of things. And it was very, very funny because everyone discussed every time. And 2 years ago was crazy, totally crazy because of the
Yeah.
elections. So, no,
Yes, I think this we are talking about the shared interest. This is a good point because if you know someone this with the same opinion about election or politician, as we are talking here, you know that person can hear you without any judgment. Because nowadays it's really hard to talk about this in a, for example, in a public place or with a strange just waiting for a doctor appointment. You cannot talk about that. Even in a Uber sometimes this is not a acceptable topic to discuss. So we need to, okay, just laugh, as Yasmin said, just laugh, and that's okay, you're right. Maybe you need to agree with the other just because you don't want to feel bad in this situation, right? You don't
yeah.
need to be the enemy.
I feel that when I get an Uber, for example, and
Oh,
the Uber is from a side, and I just agree with that because I know I am in his car, so I didn't wanna sound bad, so I
yeah.
just agree and laugh. Okay, okay, that's it. I agree with you. I
I
think
totally
he
agree, right? I totally agree. Just because you want to arrive safe in
yeah.
your address, right?
You in nowadays we didn't know what the person is. For example, if the person can make bad for you.
Yeah,
So I just I feel more easy just agree and
yeah.
laugh sometimes too.
I know this is so embarrassing situation. I had this kind of experience a lot here in São Paulo because in these moments about the election, this is a normal topic. They want to talk about that. I don't know why. And if you are said something different from them, they want to change your idea. And this is, we are fighting for hours just because we are trying to change the idea. And this is not the best way to discuss. And here, even at least in São Paulo, we don't know the other for sure. We don't know who is that person, and it's not safe to talk about
And
this.
I think the people that act like that is like restricting our skills and abilities just to our opinion. For example, you can be the best employee of your company, you can be your best familiar or relative in your family, but if you have a different political opinion, every skills, abilities, every your feelings are just forgettable, you know. It's just people just restrict you to your opinion, political
Yeah.
opinion, by the way.
Yeah, of course, I agree. I had a friend. I know her since we were almost like Louis said, we were kids when we are started studying together, and she is my friend until now. And sometimes we are talking about politicians on WhatsApp, and she said to me, "Oh, you need to come back to. We need to come to my house to talk about that because it's a safe place. No one will judge you." And I laugh because it's crazy. You need to be in a specific place to talk about a specific topic. And she said to me always, "You need to be here. We need to talk about this better in person." And it's good because I know that she is only the only person who I can really talk about and be honest for sure about this specific situation. And I feel okay, safe because I know she wasn't kill me or I don't know, make me hurt about. We are just discuss in a healthy discussion, and that's okay. I accept it. But this is a confusion. Nowadays, we are uh, fighting or killing about this just because they don't agree with your side. This is a crazy idea, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
but
Go ahead.
sometimes, for example, is cool because you can divide who is your friend and who's not. Some, you know, it's a good thing
Yeah,
in the end.
I think you need to be an open-minded person to go to the both sides and try to understand for real what is the
Yes,
best
yes, yes.
instead of defending your side like I am the best. No, I am the best. But we are in the same boat. We
Yeah,
are
because we are not. It's not a soccer game, you know. It's about our real life. It's about our society and the problems that we have, like you know.
Yeah, it is not because, for example, if I said, "Oh, Louise, you are right," if I said to you that you are right, that will be good for us, not just because, not just for Luis, just
Yes,
good for us. But every person are trying to be the best, the right person in this discussion, and that doesn't make sense for me because I am an open-minded person in this situation because I don't know too much about these topics. I don't know about the rules. I don't know about the ideas that the politicians are bringing, and I think I can learn from the others who are most, I don't know, aware about this situation. But I don't think I'm a open mind. I don't fight about that, you know. I prefer to be a silly person in this conversation to learn more instead of to be the most hired, the most knowledge person or the most clever person in the conversation because maybe it's not so good. So, guys, I think we have time. Let's try to. Luis, do you want to read the question number 5? Or if you prefer to choose another question, up to you. You decide.
okay, I will choose number five.
Okay.
Can you share a personal experience where engage with friends who share your interests had a positive impact on your mental state? Yes, a lot. In the pandemic, I think
Mm.
uh, was crazy times, a horrible time, and I remember because I was working like in public service is very common. You work 12 hours, for example, and it was a very hard times. And in the weekend to see each other, you know, that was you stay at home, but that but had one day that we meet each other in Zoom, and we played together. For it was a great memory. So, and I was so cool in the relax for the entire weekend.
Oh,
Was
this is nice. This is nice. It's I remember when the in the pandemic times I start to study about Buddhism. Buddhism. I guess the correct way to say Buddhism. And I remember that I enjoy in a group that we are in some meetings and Zoom meetings every week, but I don't know them in person, just on internet. And later, after the pandemic times, we could know each other, but everyone lives in a different city, like Brasilia, São Paulo, Rio, and we decided to meet in person. And it was a great time because we spent the pandemic times together studying about different topic because I don't know too much about it, Buddhism, and I could learn more that in that time, and that they are special persons to me. But I just knew them on internet. This is crazy, right? And we create a connection in that moment, just because I don't know, we are seeking the same I don't know, objective or goal in that time. And nowadays I know everyone's living the life almost like didn't happen the pandemic, but in that time was really important for me because we are sharing personal experience with strangers on internet. It was so crazy for me, but I think I remember this was really important and really care time about because we are sharing difficulties and I don't know, maybe some personal problems. It was really great for me in that time. I remember when you start to say about that, about the pandemic times, I remember this moment, and it was really good to remember about that. Thank you, Luis. And how about you, Yasmin?
I think my experience was in the pandemic years too, because at that time, I think everybody or almost everybody was like crazy
Yeah.
because of the isolation, people getting sick, not just with the COVID, but with anxious depression um, too, panic too. So I think we all was in the same situation, and the only thing that helped me is to send a message to people that I like to talk about other thing, like about some movie that I saw, about some series, about some situation that is funny, this kind of thing, because sometimes in that time we was so engaged with this hard situation to being at home, and we was seeing anybody, and imagine that we just uh, tell about tell to others about problems in the work or in the school, because at the pandemic years I was in the high school. So imagine if I just come to my friends to talk about things on the school. I just wanna talk about the other things, so this really helped me have the same interests and make that on a subject, because if we just talk about problems in this crazy time, I think we was just became more and more sick. I think for
Yes,
me was that situation.
I agree. I agree. It was a bad, I don't know, bad moment for everyone. I don't know someone who says, "Oh, it was excellent for me." We were afraid about money. We were afraid about healthy. We were afraid about, I don't, the world in general, I guess, right? I remember I started to not to, I don't know how to say that, training in indoor training because we could not go outside, just because I needed to put it to do something different about my routine. So I decided I need to start to training. I need to start to study. I'm not a religion person, but I was seeking for support in this situation. And in that time, I was living by myself, living alone in an apartment. And I was like, oh my gosh, this, I don't know. I have a dog in that time, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's only me and the dog in an apartment. So I decided to start to eat better. I decided to change my routine about eating bad things. I decided to start to training indoor training inside of my house, and it was great because I could know a different person about me. I could learn what I would like to do in different situation. I had experience of reading different books in the pandemic years, as Yasmin said, and it was really awesome for me because I am a different person right now because I could spend these 2 years only with me and the dog, of course. And I realized that I can be a better person in some situation, a better daughter sometimes. I could to support my family in different ways. So I know this was a bad time, but I can see that I am totally different right now for a good point of view. I could remember that. Do you want to say something, Luis?
But pandemic times shaped me what I am today because I realized in that moment that I needed to change my life. So
Mm-hmm.
I began to set up how I will keep my job, these things in that period. Uh,
I think we need it in that time. I don't not everyone, but some persons can take this moment to think about your options in life, maybe about relationships in that time that weren't able to go to continue together. So was like a different in life, that the time when you need to think about everything, about your
yes,
choices, about the future, because was not a certain thing, but we decide to think about future in that moment. So this was really crazy. I remember that I was not so good. I remember that I start in the company, and 2 months later the pandemic years start, and then I was like, oh my gosh, I start in the company. I don't know the guys. What's going on? We need to go to the office or not? So I remember it was not so good, but we need. I can see the value of this in a good way for me because I could think about my life. This is not a good thing to say, but I can't think deeply about my life.
yes, I totally agree with you, and was totally a game changer for a lot of people. And yes, we are here now, and
Yeah, but I was that person who was thinking that everyone could be different after the pandemic years, and now we are the same or worse. Go ahead, Luis.
no, I was thinking because I love it so much, that style of workaholic, and yeah,
Mhm.
well, in the future I can do that. In the future I can travel. In the future, so I realized, for example, I spent 4 years of my life without vacation, for example,
Okay.
just for work. My next position, my next position. Okay, 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 okay. And suddenly the pandemic years came, and well, probably you have the true chance that you probably you cannot have a future. So I
Yeah,
realized, well, let's stop here, change my life, and live a little.
yeah, I agree with you. Guys, I'm gonna put the link from the survey here, and let me see. Okay, if you want to take a minute to answer, it's really important for me and for my improvement and from the platform, so you can open your heart and say if you like or if you dislike this topic. As I said before, this is ILA immersion, so my immersion happens on Wednesday, 9 p.m. and Sunday, 11 a.m. So if you want to come and we can talk more about this. I love this deep topic, guys. I love to bring this topic that makes us think about life and everything. So if you want to share your opinion, feel free about it in this link. You do not worry, it's totally anonymous. You can talk about whatever you want. And I don't know if we have a time for another question, but I would like to hear, I don't think so, about how was the conversation for you, Yasmin? Did you like it?
Yeah, I really like it. That was really good to think about uh, how must be our behavior in some situations, some environments too. And was good to remember the pandemic years too, because was not easy, but was necessary sometimes to uh, develop a better knowledge of ourselves and change our perspective to trying to be better person. I think I really like it and was really good to me.
Well, for me, it was the same. I think we are talking about political situation, pandemic years. I don't know how to be a good person in a job environment. We are talking about almost more than five options about topics, and just because we have only 1 hour to discuss, and for me was most than 1 hour. I enjoy a lot. How was it for you, Luis? Did you like it?
Yes, I liked a lot of because was my first immersion with you and Yasmin, and it was a pleasure to hear a good English, So it was a pleasure, and I realized that I need to improve a lot of my grammar and vocabulary and speaking, and it was great. I love it so much. I like it so much, and the topic was great. Was because bring me a lot of feelings from the past, and I like it.
Oh, that was excellent. Your English is really good, Luis. You're in the right place. Please, I hope see you soon in another time here at the platform because, as you said, we can learn from the others. I learn every immersion that I am with Yasmin because she brings new words for me every time. Go ahead, Luis.
When Yasmin talked for the first time, I was so ashamed that I was thinking, wow, I think I will go out here because I can't speak so well.
No, please be here. I know it's hard when you see someone that knows more than you, right? Than us. But we need to enjoy this moment. And I love when I can see someone better than me on the immersions because I can pay attention with the structure or new words that I can learn. This is really good. And I know that Yasmin has a great vocabulary and she's a awesome person to talk about it. So for me, the emotions are more like to talk in a friendly environment. You can like we are drinking a beer and we are discussing about everything here, and you need to realize that we are speaking in English. We are learning in English, so this is the best way. We are speaking about different topics and without any judgments or worries. So this is the best way to improve, I guess, in a real environment, conversation, right? I think is the best way to improve. Do you want to
I
say
really
something,
love
Yasmin?
this environment because sometimes I forgot that I'm say something at English. So sometimes I just forgot some word and oh my God, I'm talking English. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's something a little crazy and really
Yes.
good.
It's like we are in another country speaking English, drinking a coffee, and discussed about the things. And that's okay. We are just speaking. So I think this is totally important. Please do it, Luis. I'm going to see you here at the platform. And I know that Yasmin is always here, and I love to talk with her. So, guys, I don't know if you have something more to say. Do you want to say something, Luis?
Well, your immersions are Wednesday, and Sunday.
Yes, Wednesday, today, 9 p.m. and Sunday 11 a.m.
Okay, I will note. I will
Yes,
try to.
please, please. I hope see you soon there. please, we can have this kind of conversation, right?
Right. Pretty
Like a
cool.
friendly, yes, like a friendly conversation. Do not worry about anything. And guys, I would like to say thank you very much for coming. I love it. The time passed really fast for me, and I am always here at the platform in some immersion to practice. So I hope see you soon. Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Bye
Thank
bye,
you, guys.
guys.
See you.
Bye
Thank you.
bye.